the Field Podcast. That's right, the Off the Field Podcast officially has merch. If you have not heard the word around the block, Mobo and I started a podcast, the Off the Field Podcast. Get this merch, baby. The first episode is officially live on Spotify, video version on YouTube. I will put both links in the description. And now, let's get started by predicting the cover athlete for MLB The Show 23. This is how we're going to do this. I'm going to give you 5 predictions on who I think could be the cover athlete for MLB The Show 23, and I will also give 5 honorable mentions that I will go through more quickly than my actual predictions. The official MLB The Show Twitter tweeted they will be announcing the cover athlete January 30th, and they left us with this very trippy picture like you're on a certain kind of really fun candy. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. And they also changed their profile picture to this. And if you look at the colors right here, what do those colors remind you of? I'll tell you what they remind me of. The Miami Marlins. And who is the guy on that team? Jazz Chisholm, who is also caught wearing an MLB The Show t-shirt on this Instagram post from the Marlins just a couple hours before I started filming this. So, things are looking pretty likely that Jazz might be the cover athlete. And I got my reasons. MLB The Show has recently fallen in love with athletes that have been changing the game of baseball. Shohei Ohtani, who has literally been changing the game. Fernando Tatis Jr. donned the cover of 21. He is currently changing the game with all the swagger that he carries himself with and breaking the unwritten rules of baseball. And maybe breaking a few actual rules of baseball. Sorry, Tatis. But Jazz, he has just that. The swagger that he carries himself with and the personality that is not afraid to bark back. Whether it be Euro stepping into home plate, absolutely pimping a home run after the umpire tried to rush him back into the batter's box, we know Jazz Chisholm has that confidence. We also know Jazz has the ultimate drip with his equipment, and that is a huge part of somebody's swagger, especially with his glove. That ice cream glove looks oh so sweet. Might have to get one for myself, maybe. But you know I love my Spidey gloves. With those gloves now, I can literally do a past, present, and future. Kinda crazy. He is also not afraid of a challenge, and I love that. He's going to be moving to center field in 2023 after playing second base, and he went out there and said he'll go out there and he'll win a gold glove too. That is dog mentality. Plus, I've met Jazz Chisholm a couple times, so I think it'd be pretty cool to see him on the cover. Next up, Aaron Judge, who just came off one of the most historic seasons we have seen in quite some time, breaking the American League single season home run record with 62 bombs. Then he solidified himself as the Yankee captain, went into free agency, and decided to go back to New York, and he also claimed the MVP, of course. He has to feel on top of the world right now, and even though he was the cover athlete for MLB The Show 18, it would not be something out of the ordinary for MLB The Show because we saw Joe Mauer do the cover twice, and that was back-to-back. So, I mean, we've had a little time off from Aaron Judge since 2018, and coming off this season, I wouldn't be shocked. But something tells me they don't want to have a repeat cover athlete. I really feel like they try to push a new one every year. But either way, I think Aaron Judge has a strong case to be the cover athlete for MLB The Show 23. Next up, this is a simple one. Mike Trout. He is my favorite player, and he is the best player of this generation easily. Even last year in an injured season, he still hit 40 home runs. This one is more of a dream come true for me if it were to happen. It is long overdue, and I just think there's all these reasons that Trout really doesn't want to be the cover athlete. He's not the guy who wants the spotlight on him, and he's also the cover athlete for MLB 9 innings, so I don't know if there's anything contractually that prevents him from being the cover athlete of MLB. Plus, I just don't really think he wants to. Just not that kind of player, but if it ever were to happen, I would be so happy. Next up, Paul Goldschmidt. He almost claimed Triple Crown in the past season, and we've seen a Triple Crown winner on MLB The Show before, Mickey. But, however, he did claim the National League MVP. His bat in the Cardinals lineup really kept the team strong and connected throughout the whole season. Although he kind of reminds me of Mike Trout in the way that he doesn't want to bring much attention to himself because he had a crazy good year last year, and I feel like not that many people talk about it. Kind of flew under the radar for an MVP, or at least that's what it feels like being here in California. I don't know in other parts of the United States or the world. Anyways, if the cover athletes are based on last year's top performers, I don't see how one of the first people that comes to your mind is not Paul Goldschmidt. Before I get to my home run pick, I'm going to throw out some honorable mentions. Jose Ramirez, he flies under the radar every year. I think that is strongly because he plays in Cleveland and a lot of people don't see him and how good he really is. He honestly is one of the best third basemen in the game. Then you have Sandy Alcantara coming off an amazing season last year where he showed that old school pitching can still happen. You can still go the distance. Austin Riley also broke out last year, so I think that would be a good one to see. Mookie Betts, he's entertaining. He plays in Los Angeles. That one is just a layup. And then Yordan Alvarez, he had a great year, put himself in MVP conversations, and he's a World Series champion without cheating this time. And now that we are done with the honorable mentions, here's my home run pick. Julio Rodriguez, the J-Rod Show. MLB The Show loves the new, super talented, fresh faces of baseball, and that's exactly what Julio Rodriguez is. He achieved the 25 home runs, 25 stolen bases mark in 2022 and locked up American League Rookie of the Year. He is a bright light in what could be a very bright future for the Seattle Mariners. We finally saw him help the Mariners get back to playoffs after such a long drought. Obviously, he was a big part of that. He is a signal of hope for that team, and he is only getting started. And not only is he talented, he has so much swagger. He's got that drip also. So I think this is easily a home run pick to be the MLB The Show 23 cover athlete. I will honestly be shocked if it's somebody else. Stop. I felt like this was a good video for me to announce this. I've kind of hinted at it a few times, but I am going to the WBC, the World Baseball Classic. I cannot wait. It is going to be so much fun, and I should probably clarify that I'm going to the rounds that are in Phoenix, not Miami. I can actually drive to Arizona. I would have to fly to Miami. I mean, and I'm trying to see Team USA, obviously. I'm going to be seeing two games, USA versus Great Britain. I can't even tell you one person that is on the Great Britain team. And then USA versus Mexico. It is going to be so much fun. Mobo is going with me. My podcast co-host, by the way, Off the Field Podcast. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're listening on Spotify. We would be so happy. We also have an Instagram that you can follow. If you want to follow my personal Instagram, I mean, go ahead. Come on. You know you want to. It'll be my first ever WBC. I had to go to this one. The team is so stacked. My boy Mike Trout, basically the captain of the whole squad that has such amazing talent everywhere you look. The only team I'm terrified of is the Dominican Republic, but this mic is getting very heavy because of this weight stand, so I'm going to sit down and do the outro, okay? If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to leave a comment on who you think will be the MLB The Show 23 cover athlete. We're just a few days away from getting MLB The Show news. It feels like it's been so long. Thank you for watching. Please go subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. You can also find it on Spotify. Like I said, I will leave those links in the description. Also not done with MLB The Show 22. I actually have a very fun video where the softball crew will pick my Diamond Dynasty team and I will play with it online. So I cannot wait for that video to come out. I got this. You got this. We all got this. And I'll see you next time.